St. Clair O'Connor Community. Updated February 13th, 2019. Overview of Scox Fire. St. Clair O'Connor Community. Updated February 13th, 2019. Overview of Scox Fire Plan. Fire safety is everyone's concern. It is important that you are aware of Scox Fire Plan for your own safety as well as the residents. Staff and volunteers are the first line of defense in a fire situation. When the fire department does arrive, they will rely on our knowledge of the building and of those who live here. Procedures when responding to a fire alarm. When the fire alarm sounds, stage 1 is a beeping sound. All staff are to turn off any electrical equipment in their area, close the door behind them, and proceed to their designated areas, as follows. Staff on the first floor to report to reception, and staff on the second and third floors to report to the long-term care home. Remember, the elevators do not work once the alarm is sounded. If, however, a staff person is with a group of residents when the alarm sounds, that is activity in the meeting room, they should stay with them and wait for further instructions. Fire marshal. Who is the fire marshal? In an emergency, the nurse manager in the long-term care home acts as the in-house fire marshal. Role of the fire marshal. 1. Call 911 when the alarm sounds and give name and location of facility. 2. The nurse managers carry the firebox key in the long-term care home and open the firebox and give the fire keys to the code person. 3. Determine by looking at the fire panel in the long-term care home by the nursing station, give a walkie-talkie to the code person. 4. Give code pouch to code person, tell them location of trouble. 5. Follow directions of the fire captain from the East York Fire Department. 6. Keep in touch with code and panel person using the walkie-talkie, or, if necessary, the fire phone. 7. Obtain fire booklet inside the firebox by the nursing station. 8. Assign staff to check areas and ensure that residents close doors and windows. Turn off any equipment. 9. Coordinate evacuation in conjunction with code person and fire department. 10. Record who has gone where and if they have returned. 11. After test, drill call reception to make sure they have called the fire monitoring company to put us back on the fire board. 12. Make sure all areas reports are returned. Fire marshal is to complete evaluation report for executive director before leaving. 13. In fire drill situation, send staff to complete area report after the all clear is given. 14. Reset the fire panel for LTC, red button by nursing station. 15. Ensure LTC stairwell #1 and main entrance doors are reset and locked. 1. Code person. Who is the code person? The code person is the PSW. In the long-term care home, west side, or designate by the nurse manager, days, evening, and night shift. Maintenance is the code person on the weekends, and each department designates their code person. Role of the code person. When the alarm sounds, the code person proceeds to the nursing station. The nurse manager fire marshal will tell the code person the location of the trouble after looking at the fire panel and hand them the fire pouch, fire keys, and the walkie-talkie. When the code person gets to the troubled area, they are to proceed with caution by looking, touching, and smelling for the cause of the alarm. When the source has been identified, they are to inform the fire marshal using the walkie-talkie, or if that fails, the fire phone. The fire marshal, in turn, informs the panel person of the cause. If an evacuation is required, the code person would request additional help, that is, emergency response person. If a pull station was used, it is the job of the panel person and maintenance staff member on duty to reset it. This is important, as the fire alarm system cannot be reset until this is done. Panel person. Who is the panel person? The panel person is 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., maintenance 9 a.m. to 5 p.m., reception 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., maintenance 8 p.m. to 7 a.m., personal support worker, assisted living services after 7 a.m. It is the emergency response person if available. Role of the panel person. When the alarm sounds, the panel person proceeds to the fire panel in the main entrance vestibule. Their job is to reassure residents and provide direction using the microphone in the fire panel. Open the emergency key box beside the main panel. Hashtag to open key box is 2277. Instructions on what the panel person is to say are affixed next to the panel. Messages should be given clearly and regularly. Once the fire department has given the all clear, the panel person must Reset the fire panel using the reset button. Reset the door to the 227 Adult Day program by inserting the key in the lock located in the emergency key box. Reset the elevators by placing the key in the lock on the elevator button panel. This key is attached to the other fire keys. Emergency Response Person. Who is the Emergency Response Person, ERP? The emergency persons, ERP, are COC residents who have volunteered to assist staff responding to emergency situations, that is, fire alarms, security issues, residents living in the townhouses. Note, in the event there is only one personal support worker on duty, their job is to act as the code and panel person. They would begin by finding out the source of the trouble and report it to the nurse manager. The nurse manager would instruct the emergency response persons as to what is needed, that is, assist code person, or make announcement on the fire panel. Role of the emergency response person, ERP. Duties will include 1. Responding to fire alarms. 2. Communication between staff. 3. Participating in fire drills. 4. Assisting staff with security issues. A orange-yellow reflector vest provided by SCOC, located in the fire panel and in the code pouch in long-term care center, will be worn when responding to a call. This will identify the emergency response persons. Procedure when responding to a fire alarm. Upon hearing the fire alarm, emergency response person would go directly to the main fire panel located on the first floor main vestibule. Example: when limited staff is available, the emergency response person may be asked to assist a code person. There is: make announcement on fire panel to assure residents someone responding to the alarm. Ensure the security at open doorways during the alarm. Responding to security issues. If after hours there is a situation where staff requires the assistance of the emergency response person, they will call one of the individuals and ask them to help. Asked to confront Anne, the emergency response person will never be intruder or do anything to jeopardize their safety. Called. If the nature of the situation is a police matter, 911 will be. Example of security situation where the ERP would be asked to assist person may be: if we had a missing resident, the emergency response asked to assist in the search of the building, the code yellow policy would be followed. Fire safety equipment. SCOC is equipped with a variety of fire safety features, including fire alarm and detection system, pull stations, alarms, speakers, thermal detectors, smoke alarms, smoke detectors, fire phones, fire hose cabinets, portable fire extinguishers, fire department connections, exits, emergency lighting, sprinkler system, wet and dry systems only in basement. 1. Fire alarm and detector system. There are 3 panels in the facility. They identify the location of the trouble. One is located at the nurse's station and a second outside of the servery just below the dining room. The main panel is located in the vestibule inside the main front door at the street level. 2. Public address system. Information can be communicated to residents and staff via the public address system. The microphone is located inside the main fire panel and the panel at the nurse's station. 3. Pull stations. Pull stations or fire alarms are located at every exit door. This includes fire doors as well as stairwell doors. The lock for the second stage alarm is accessed at the pull station. Remember, only the fire department, in-house fire marshal, or the executive director designate can initiate an evacuation. 4. Alarms, speakers. Alarms and speakers are located in common areas, hallways, and apartments. 5. Thermal detectors. Thermal or heat detectors are located in common areas, hallways, and apartments. Detectors are wired to the annunciator panel and have AC power and generator backup. 6. Smoke alarms. Smoke alarms are located in all hallways and long-term care home rooms. These detectors are AC powered and have generator backup. 7. Smoke detectors. Smoke detectors are located in all apartments. These detectors are AC powered and are warning devices to inform apartment residents of potential danger. 8. Fire hose cabinets. Fire hose cabinets are located in the hallways of each floor, public areas, and in the garage. They contain both a fire hose and extinguisher. 9. Fire extinguishers. There are 3 different types of fire extinguishers at SCOC. They are used for different types of fire and are clearly marked on the extinguisher. ABC units can be used in any type of fire. An extinguisher contains water and can be used where wood, paper, or materials are burning. BC extinguishers contain a dry chemical and are used on electrical or grease fires. 10. Exits. Each floor has a number of exits. The exit at the east end of the building is number 1. The exit in the middle of the building is number 2. The exit at the south side of the building is number 3, and the exit at the southeast end is number 4. While this information is provided to new staff during their building tour, it would be prudent to commit the various floor exits to memory in preparation of an emergency. 11. Fire phone. A fire phone is located at each of the stairwell exits and the annunciator panels. Break the glass to gain access to the phone. This connects the person with the nurse's station and the main fire panel. The second stage alarm key is located in the fire phone box. Procedures for evacuation. It may be necessary to evacuate residents. This could be a partial evacuation where you move people to the other end of a floor, horizontal, or up or down a floor, vertical. It could also mean a complete evacuation. Ordering an evacuation is done by the fire department, the fire marshal, the executive director, or designate only. The fire alarm system would be put into second stage alarm, loud whooping sound. Note, if the fire panel is not reset within 10 minutes, the system will automatically go into the second stage alarm. An evacuation will only take place when the alarm sounds and an announcement is made. In a complete evacuation, staff would direct able-bodied residents down stairwell number 1 and out to the church parking lot. Frail residents would be directed down stairwell number 2 and out the front door. It is the job of the code person to coordinate the evacuation. Staff assisting with the evacuation may be asked to open doors, check for residents inside. Once a room check has been completed and apartment is empty, the vacant flag is up. If a person refuses to leave their apartment, the fire marshal should be notified. Leave the vacant flag down. If a resident requires assistance getting out, there are 3 types of lifts: chair, arm, and blanket. In the event of a complete evacuation, the nurse manager would initiate the emergency phone fan-out system. They would also designate a person to take down the long-term care home residents' records in the black bags at the nurse's station. The executive director or a department manager would be responsible for taking the apartment resident profile book located in the administration office. The receptionist is assigned to the panel during working hours. The department manager will be delegated to cover the phone at reception and field calls. Your 4 moments for hand hygiene. Adapted from Who Poster Your 5 Moments for Hand Hygiene 2006. For more information, please contact Hand Hygiene at ehpp.ca or visit publichealthontario.ca/jcyh. How to hand rub. Rub hands for 15 seconds. Apply 1 to 2 pumps of product to palms of dry hands. Rub hands together, palm to palm. Rub in between and around fingers. Rub back of each hand with palm of other hand. Rub fingertips of each hand in opposite palm. Rub each thumb clasped in opposite hand. Rub hands until product is dry. Do not use paper towels. Once dry, your hands are safe. For more information, please contact Hand Hygiene at oahpp.ca or visit publichealthontario.ca/jcyh. Residents' Bill of Rights. Residents' Bill of Rights. 3.1. Every licensee of a long-term care home shall ensure that the following rights of residents are fully respected and promoted. 1. Every resident has the right to be treated with courtesy and respect and in a way that fully recognizes the resident's inherent dignity, worth, and individuality, regardless of their race, ancestry, place of origin, color, ethnic origin, citizenship, creed, sex, sexual orientation, gender identity, gender expression, age, marital status, family status, or disability. 2. Every resident has the right to have their lifestyle and choices respected. 3. Every resident has the right to have their participation in decision-making respected. Right to freedom from abuse and neglect. 4. Every resident has the right to freedom from abuse. 5. Every resident has the right to freedom from neglect by the licensee and staff. 6. Every resident has the right to communicate in confidence, receive visitors of their choice, and consult in private with any person without interference. 7. Every resident has the right to form friendships and relationships and to participate in the life of the long-term care home. 8. Every resident has the right to share a room with another resident according to their mutual wishes, if appropriate accommodation is available. 9. Every resident has the right to meet privately with their spouse or another person in a room that assures privacy. 10. Every resident has the right to pursue social, cultural, religious, spiritual, and other interests, to develop their potential and to be given reasonable assistance by the licensee to pursue these interests and to develop their potential. Every resident has the right to live in a safe and clean environment. 12. Every resident has the right to be given access to protected outdoor areas in order to enjoy outdoor activity unless the physical setting makes this impossible. 13. Every resident has the right to keep and display personal possessions, pictures, and furnishings in their room, subject to safety requirements and the rights of other residents. 14. Every resident has the right to manage their own financial affairs unless the resident lacks the legal capacity to do so. 15. Every resident has the right to exercise the rights of a citizen. Right to quality care and self-determination. 16. Every resident has the right to proper accommodation, nutrition, care, and services consistent with their needs. 17. Every resident has the right to be told both who is responsible for and who is providing the resident's direct care. 18. Every resident has the right to be afforded privacy in treatment and in caring for their personal needs. 19. Every resident has the right to participate fully in the development, implementation, review, and revision of their plan of care. 2. Give or refuse consent to any treatment, care, or services for which their consent is required by law, and to be informed of the consequences of giving or refusing consent. Participate fully in making any decision concerning any aspect of their care, including any decision concerning their admission, discharge, or transfer to or from a long-term care home, and to obtain an independent opinion with regard to any of those matters. And IV. Have their personal health information within the meaning of the Personal Health Information Protection Act, 2004, kept confidential in accordance with that act, and to have access to their records of personal health information, including their plan of care, in accordance with that act. 20. Every resident has a right to ongoing and safe support from their caregivers to support their physical, mental, social, and emotional well-being and their quality of life, and to assistance in contacting a caregiver or other person to support their needs. 21. Every resident has the right to have any friend, family member, caregiver, or other person of importance to the resident attend any meeting with the licensee or the staff of the home. 22. Every resident has the right to designate a person to receive information concerning any transfer or any hospitalization of the resident, and to have that person receive that information immediately. 23. Every resident has the right to receive care and assistance towards independence based on a restorative care philosophy to maximize independence to the greatest extent possible. 24. Every resident has the right not to be restrained except in the limited circumstances provided for under this Act and subject to the requirements provided for under this Act. Note, on a day to be named by proclamation of the Lieutenant Governor, paragraph 24 of subsection 3.1 of the Act is amended by striking out restrained and substituting restrained or confined. See 2021 C. 39 Shed 1 S 203 3 25. Every resident has the right to be provided with care and services based on a palliative care philosophy. 26. Every resident who is dying or who is very ill has the right to have family and friends present 24 hours per day, right to be informed, participate, and make a complaint. 27. Every resident has the right to be informed in writing of any law, rule, or policy affecting services provided to the resident and of the procedures for initiating complaints. 28. Every resident has the right to participate in the Residence Council. 29. Every resident has the right to raise concerns or recommend changes in policies and services on behalf of themselves or others to the following persons and organizations, without interference and without fear of coercion, discrimination, or reprisal, whether directed at the resident or anyone else. I, the Residence Council. 2, the Family Council. 2, the licensee, and, if the licensee is a corporation, the directors and officers of the corporation, and, in the case of a home approved under Part 9, a member of the Committee of Management for the home under Section 135, or of the Board of Management for the home under Section 128 or 132. IV. Staff members, v. Government officials, VI, any other person inside or outside the long-term care home.